Just listen to the crowd. Charlton leads out England.
Football is so exciting. I don't think that you can better it.
Hello again, and welcome this time to a programme that extols the qualities of the classic Liverpool teams. During the 70s and 80s, they established themselves as one of the greatest club sides in the world.
McDermott. Oh, that was beautiful. Onside, Ian Rush. 1-0 Liverpool. Brilliant goal. Oh, what a goal from Alan Kennedy. Deep flick. Highway. What a shot. What a goal. Paul. Keegan. Goals pay the rent. Fossa. A goal. Lee. Oh, what a goal. Correct. Beautiful header. Back up Liverpool. Ball is loose. And it's there. Fair touch. Oh, he's got free Dalglish. And put in by Lawson. Floated high, Lloyd. 3-0. Alan Kennedy. And he goes on. And he's gone! Alan Kennedy!
Bobby, it truly was a golden era, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, the Liverpool period there. I mean, they had Bill Shankly, and he set the stall out of what Liverpool, he wanted from Liverpool over the years, and they just continued the continuity of Bob Paisley and Joe Fagan and Kenny Dalglish. It was a golden period of English football. They were without question. I'm looking at some of those goals that fly in, you know, they were flying in there. Just phenomenal. From every midfield player had goals in them. All the forwards, good in the air, they had width, they had, you know, if you were a defender playing at Liverpool, especially at the Kop end,
Yeah.
you know, it was an awesome thing, you know, to have to face all these people coming at you all the time.
And they were the team to emulate, weren't they? They became the team to emulate.
Well, yes, they set the standard, the standards of passing and playing and entertaining. And if you wanted to be good at the game of football, you know, they at the particular time were the team that you had to emulate and beat.
Well, the two games that Bobby selected are both from championship challenging seasons in the 70s. First, a 7-goal thriller in February '75 with Ipswich, the visitors to Anfield.
Getting a second chance. Johnson, number 9. Hughes, number 6. Good play by Johnson. Brilliant save by Clement.
And then another home encounter, this time against Stoke City from the following season, April '76.
Pajic is just inside. He's beaten Smith. Here's Pajic on the left. What a fine save by Ray Clements.
Well, I guess was a pivotal member of that great side and played in both those games.
As Phil Thompson grasps the hand of Artemio Franchi, the president of UEFA, the European body controlling who is going to pick it up, he seemed to suggest, and he passes it to Phil Thompson.
Well, he joined them in 1969 as a 15-year-old and was an ever-present member of the team during that proud period. A stalwart of the back four, he first gained England recognition in 1976, collecting over 40 caps for his country. And his first team career finished in 1983. Of course, he became a prominent TV pundit of the game. This is how he looks now. Welcome, Phil.
It's a bit better.
And that moment of picking up the European Cup when he eventually got it was worth it, wasn't it?
I remember it so well. Just so nervous going up those steps and then just wanting to get my hands onto the trophy.
He didn't want to give it to you, did he?
He didn't want to give it to me. And he's there and he's talking to me. I'm saying, I just want the cup. Talking to me and saying, please, just hand me the cup. Then he wants to raise it. Yes. And I said, hey, come here. And that's why I reached around him. And absolutely very, very proud moment for me.
Do you ever get tired looking back on those great days?
No, not at all. People say they don't like watching games, they don't like, well, why look back? But I think it was fabulous times, especially for Liverpool Football Club during those periods. It was wonderful, wonderful to be there and to actually play in it was even better.
And you played with Bill Shankly, with Bob Paisley, with Fagan. You were there when Dalglish was there too?
Yeah, I was playing with Dalglish. I didn't play under Kenny.
No.
Went back on the coaching staff under Kenny Dalglish.
Yes, that's right, yeah.
Magnificent times, going from the Shankly era through to Bob Paisley, and people thinking how difficult it was going to be. Absolutely raising to win the European Cup under Bob's reign. Absolutely wonderful.
How jealous were you at Manchester of Liverpool at that time, Bob?
Oh, we weren't jealous. We were envious.
Yes.
Envious. I mean, we were a big club and we wanted to win things, but it wasn't to be. We weren't the best at that particular time. We went all through traumatic period, you know, a change in managers and one thing and another. But the one thing that everybody really looked at Liverpool in awe of was the consistency, you know, and the fans used to love it. Bill Shankly had a personality of his own, you know, and he just used to communicate this to the fans, to the players, and it was just, it was the, if you wanted to be something, you know, it had to be as good as Liverpool.
Yeah.
And it took a long time because I think the continuity lasted only till a few years ago.
Yeah.
And then, you know, who's to say that it isn't back now, you know,
there you are.
It's a great club.
Well, so to the first game then, Liverpool v Ipswich, and Phil, take us to the Liverpool side, will you?
Well, it's so difficult with so many great players, but you know, you talk about a good back four, but it's the guy there behind the back four. You knew if maybe you're having an off day, that guy Ray Clements, and I believe he was, you know, people say Peter Shilton, Ray Clements was the best. I think he's probably the best England goalkeeper there's ever been. Bobby was hit on it before. If you look at the players there in midfield, when you win championships, win cups, you need players to score from all positions, and we've seen that when the show opened. All these players, different players scoring goals, and he scored them on a regular basis. And there it is, Keegan and Toshak up front, frightened every opposition, up and down the country, the big man and the little man. John's so good in the air, so elegant, but a great footballer which people didn't give him credit for, and then little Kevin causing havoc.
And Bobby, the Ipswich team was a very strong unit too, wasn't it?
Yeah, Bobby Robson, the manager then, but they were a strong outfit. George Burley and Mick Mills, two really good solid fullbacks. Brian Talbot midfield, Alan Hunter, strong defender. Kevin Keegan, Kevin Beattie, very like Brian Robson, left-sided player, and unfortunately had serious injuries, otherwise he would have gone on to play many times for England. Up front, David Johnson, Trevor Wymark, Colin Viljoen, South African, one of the few South Africans that came to play in this country. They were a strong outfit.
Well, the game was played in February 1975, the year that Maggie took over the leadership of the Tory party, and for the first time we could hear all the shenanigans of the House of Commons on radio. The game was played at Anfield, the commentator David Coleman.
Viljoen back to Hunter. Hunter, the Irish international. Thompson for Liverpool. In fact, Ipswich, since they were promoted 6 years ago, haven't picked up a single point at Anfield in their 6 league matches. Talbot penalised. Brian Talbot. Hamlin Hughes the kick. That was won by Burley behind Beattie. Lambert. It's highway to Neil. Cut out by Burley. This is Keegan. Cormac. Cormac, who seemed to be caught between a chip and a shot. Kevin Keegan. Neil. Found Callaghan well. Beattie for Ipswich. Collard. Well cut out by Neil. Hall. Keegan versus Beattie. And Beattie the winner. Mills. Offside. Hall. Carried out of it by Collard. Viljoen and offside against Johnson. Keegan and Beattie together. Skidded off Toshak's head. Now Keegan. Goal! Goal!
Well, a good opening strike there, Phil. Brian Hall.
Yeah, it was great movement again in the side. Keegan again a provider, not the goal scorer. Nice little bit of movement, great pullback. You know, you don't see too many of Brian Hall headed goals. And the little fellow brave as a line. It's a great ball by Keegan on it, not his favourite foot.
Oh, he took it well.
He took it very, very brave.
Yeah.
Not Brian's best asset being 5'2". It's his heading. But he did exceptionally well there, and that's what I was saying before.
Yeah, brilliant.
Was quick enough. Well, this young Ipswich side really rocked by that in the first 5 minutes. Beattie, Collard, Lambert, Villiers, Hughes was kicked, Clements, a very good rescue job, and he was fouled anyway. It was on Emlyn's better foot, his right side, but he didn't connect properly. A little bit high for him. Player not 10 yards away, Clements is claiming. That's Keegan. Beattie. And this Liverpool football ground, a cauldron of sound, cascading from the terraces on every side. Keegan, Lindsay, Cormac, Thompson over the top. Again a deep ball, wing to wing, Cormac knocking it back. Johnson, and he was pushed by Thompson. It'll be Kevin Beattie with a kick. Should be Clements. Clements looking for a quick attack. They've got 2 against 2 and no cover. Toshak, Keegan! Keegan again! Brilliant! And this time it's in, Toshak!
Well, I must say, Phil talked about that little partnership. We saw it in action, didn't we, really?
Yeah, if the ball's in the air, John Toshak will win it. Kevin Keegan had the movement to make something of it. Any space that Toshak made for him, he capitalised on it. Finished up with a shot at goals. Charged down by Kevin Keegan, but who was there to knock it in but John Toshak? Very brave, you see there. I mean, it wasn't really his ball, but he won it. Kevin Keegan, tough, strong, holds off the challenge. Anyway, nice simple tap-in for John Toshak at the end of the day, but there was a lot of hard work went into that, a lot of effort.
Yes.
Brave play.
Liverpool so sharp, so enterprising. Clements set the last goal up just like that, but only Keegan up front this time. But it was through Clements with that quick ball upfield that Ipswich got split. Highway. George Burley. Keegan. Free kick. Toshak providing the commentary. Cormac. Villiers. Talbot. Johnson. Talbot, Johnson. Liverpool eager for everything. Back to Burley, number 2. Well headed by Thompson, that's Hunter. No offside. Roy Mock. And he's got Lambert available outside him too, but right to take the first time shot, but a yard wide. It's Collard. Phil Thompson. Beatty. Collard with space. Thompson, too easy. Hall. Mills for Ipswich. All cut out by Neil. Wiljourn backing up. Neil for Liverpool. Van Keegan well. He found Toshak. Keegan. Nice interplay between the two. Callahan. Keegan. Well set up. Cormac. Highway. Civil. Just the position to cut it out. Highway hadn't got much room for the cross. Thoughtful nod back then from Keegan to Cormac. Just didn't arrive right. Wymark, now Villiers. Hughes in trouble. Lambert, and it came off a defender, but Johnson was already in an offside position before the ball was played. So the Ipswich supporters think the referee should have allowed played on. In fact, Pat Partridge absolutely right. Hughes. Toshak. Cormac. Keegan. Brilliant Highway. The ball was inch perfect from Keegan. And the applause from Highway and the crowd. Totally deserved. Well won by Lambert. That's Johnson. Followed by Thompson. Free. And well cleared by Neil, but only Lambert. And it's Viljourn's complaining that if the ball hadn't been headed then, it would have come to him the first time in a better position. Halfway through the first half, Liverpool lead Ipswich by 2 goals to 0. Burley for Ipswich. That's for Johnson. Too hurried, now Hughes. Cormac with space. Hall. Wide and by himself. Neil on the overlap. Ignored. Toshak. And he just couldn't find Keegan, who was poaching behind him. And this is the old firm for Liverpool working so well. Keegan has been complaining about his form, finding it now on this firmer pitch today, and Toshak who's feeding him so well. Callahan. Liverpool pulling players back quickly. Clements, both players were in the England trial party in midweek. Burley. George Burley, still only 18, he looks even younger. Hunter made that his. Good ball by Hunter, that was to Lambert. Thompson. Lambert getting a second chance. And Johnson, number 9. Hughes, number 6. Good play by Johnson. Brilliant save by Clements. Johnson made the position for himself. Got the clear shooting chance. Hit the ball well, but Clements in the perfect position. First corner of the match for Ipswich. Beattie, 2-on. Beattie rose above the rest. Clements couldn't get there, and he was right in the corner.
Well, David Johnson could have almost scored just before that, but a lovely goal by Kevin Beattie, Phil.
Yeah, fond memories of Kevin Beattie. We played together in England youth team, which won the Mini World Cup. And he was an absolute outstanding player. Barring injuries, he would have played for England maybe 100 times. He was that good.
A really class player.
Oh, yeah. His ability in the air was... Is from standing jumps, he was the best I'd ever seen. Magnificent player, and he's playing for Ipswich there at the top of the tree.
Yeah, Bobby?
Yeah, he's a great player. He's a tough player, but a great long ball specialist as well, which you don't see often, you know, and wasn't afraid to pick out long ball. But very, you know, there was the great Duncan Edwards, which he's been compared with. Brian Robson is very like, you know, tough, aggressive, comes from the same part of the world.
Amazing thing is with Beattie, we had him at Liverpool. When I was 15, he came down and had a trial there. She was very, you know, there's a long story behind it, but he could have been there. We could have been playing together at Liverpool.
He would have been a great player, really, Kevin Beattie. He had the ability, just didn't have the luck.
In the way was Toshak, his own player, and that was bound for the top corner. Cormac to Keegan. Beattie right through to the ball. Hughes. Won by Hunter. Callahan. Well tackled by Villiers. Lambert feeding Johnson. Johnson alone at the moment. Wymark's arriving in the middle though. Talbot's there as well, but forced a hole while they arrived. Talbot beaten by Lindsay. Lambert. Johnson. Villiers. Liverpool defence pushing out. Talbot. Wymark. Mills in the post and offside anyway. No. Referee waves play on, so it doesn't look as if it was offside. So Ipswich can count themselves unlucky. 5 minutes to half-time as Mills hits that post. Toshak pulled down by Hunter. Cormac to Lindsay, who broke to find space. 3-1.
But you said they could all score, and Alec Lindsay scored that one.
I know, when I thought that he was going to score out, I was convinced it must be on his left side. He was a completely left-footed player, and there he pops one in with his right foot. But there again, any player at that particular time from Liverpool could go forward, and there's exceptions to everything. But they all went forward, they all had a go, and nobody told them that they were doing anything wrong by doing it. Everybody filled in, they knew exactly what they were doing. I'm not surprised.
It was amazing, wasn't it? Because we could have gone level there.
It could have been
hit the post,
yes.
And then we go forward. And you see, nobody ever told you to do things at Liverpool. You moved. If you didn't know what to do, you moved. And all of a sudden, you'll find that ball coming in your path.
They just hit the bar.
It's an awful game, this, isn't it?
Off crossbar and upright. This match so full of movement, so full of life and incident. So full of good entertainment. Keegan offside. Mills for Ipswich. Callahan in the way. That's Villiers to Mills. Foul by Cormac. Mills with a kick. Toshak. Burley. flag up for offside. Playing injury time in the first half. Pat Partridge checking the watch, and there's the half-time whistle. And listen to the applause of the crowd, and no wonder.
Liverpool certainly well worth a 3-1 lead at half-time, Phil. And it was Bob Paisley's first season, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it was a very difficult time for Bob. As stories go, Bob never really wanted the job. I think it was because he had to follow Bill Shankly. But I think Bill had gone and he'd said Bob should film my boots and everything. And it was the right decision. The continuity which Liverpool have been famous for, and nothing really changed. Bob in his own right had great ideas, wonderful. Found it very difficult to put it across in words, but he knew the game inside out, and he had Joe Fagan and Ronnie Moran to be able to do that for him. And his noticing of players and his choice of players was to come and fit in to the Liverpool mould.
Yeah, he had the knowledge, you see. I mean, Bill Shankly initially had the knowledge, passed it on, and it just became the norm, really. Knew the game inside out. I mean, you if you were lucky, you sometimes used to get invited to the boot room at Liverpool, the original boot room. There's been a lot of boot rooms since, but the original boot room, and if you were invited to go in there, all it was football. He was just steeped in football, you know. Come in, Bobby, have a drink, you know, what about this game, what about the England team, what about everything else? And that was it, the knowledge of the game of football, they knew through and through at Liverpool. Any successful side has to have it, but they had it, all of them had it at Liverpool. Started with Shankly and went right through.
We'll get a boot room story from you, Phil, later on, but we'll take a break now. The second half of this absorbing game coming up in just a moment.